Sweet. Yeah, one of the, right here, if I go, uh, yeah, it's just, it doesn't have the date on here, but if I go into Mastery, Aetherdrift finishes in 6 days, so Dragonstorm is next Tuesday.
Mhm.
So yeah, this will be the last Aetherdrifting. Thinking about how I felt on this format, like giving it its time. One thing that feels unique on it is that like the like I tend to feel like I like to sit in like Boros as far as a default when I like jump into a format,
Yeah.
and that just isn't true in this one. Uh, Boros seems to kind of get stuffed a little too easily by some of the different uh, bigger options. A lot of
Yeah,
like long-term value stuff or just bigger stuff.
I think just a large amount of that is that Aetherdrift is one of the slowest formats in like the past
Yeah,
3 or 4 years.
yeah. I when it was initially talked about, and they were like, "Yeah, we made speed as like we want this to the start your engines, and we want to make this like a long-term thing for a game." And it's like, is that going to work out? And the answer is, yeah. I suppose it yes. So, but yeah, so
It is just genuinely extremely funny that they made the set about a race
the slow limit.
so slow.
Yeah, it it is a thing that's been a really difficult balancing act in limited over the last few years. Um, the like slight changes over the last like let's say 5 years in uh what a creature looks like at lower rarity is I kind of
Mhm.
I think the best way to put it. Uh, where if I'm looking like when we went back into cons, that it's a much larger differential because that's a 10-year gap at this point. Um, but like the quality of what a playable body in that format looked like was morphs. Morphs were things you would play in that
Yeah,
format.
gray ogres were things in that
Um,
format. They were not.
and
You didn't play them as gray ogre if you could help it, but hey.
but even there were cards you did like you had like the, your Ponyback Brigade, and you had your stuff like that.
You still played 4 mana 3/3s in cons.
You didn't want to. The unyielding Krumar was like the worst 23rd, but you did do it sometimes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But like a so the what a body looks like and what bodies are more acceptable and limited is a lot more of a a tweaked thing. We have things pushed a little bit, and while things are still balanced relative to each other, your life total's 20. And like when the common options are now 3 power and like good 3 power, that changes the math significantly. Think about Outlaws of Thunder Junction and how one of the best possible things you could do in that format was turn to like 3/1 that had like the saddle for first strike.
Mhm.
Stuff like that where it's like that makes for a really aggressive format. And that's more of a like or playability of like 1-drops as well as a piece of that. So it's something that actively takes effort to like to balance out your format. It is a counterpoint. It's a very long race. It's not over. It is a rally race over like 3, locations. Yeah.
Is this Alchemy Aetherdrift?
No, just Premier Draft, Premier Draft, Aetherdrift.
That's not the alchemy symbol on the pack there.
I think that's That's just arena. I think, like, 'cause
Okay.
it would say. I'm looking at. Yeah, because like. This isn't limited alchemy. It would say alchemy on the draft bit here.
Okay.
Because like it's like a phantom draft, and that's the same here. So their alchemy symbol is just the A for arena.
Seems like a mistake.
Alchemy? No.
Yeah, that's fair. You know,
No.
we could leave it at that when you get down to it realistically. I did like their April Fool's gag on Arena. That's a good goof.
Yeah, you want to have a fun goof that is like not going to, you know, like a bad goof would be secretly all the drafts are alchemy because you're spending cash on a thing. They're ooh, okay, all right. I see this serpent I really like here.
Sky Serpent. I thought that was Sky Seeker Serpent.
Sky Seeker Serpent. Yeah, that's what it reads like. It's Sky Seeker Serpent. This gives us this is one of the like strongest payoff exhaust cards if you have ways to, you know, like that one thing that like lets you reuse it. But this also
God,
just
that's
is
like the most Simic ability I've seen
right.
in my life.
It's explosive vegetation.
Yeah.
And the body is also very good. I'm not like I talk about not wanting to pick multicolor cards as first picks a lot, but like one, we're on the final
I can
lap.
guarantee that Thornwood Falls is probably coming back too if you're gonna pick the first, you know, the only Simic card in here.
Other cards of note in here. White's got some good things in here. Actually, all of white in here is pretty good. I like Catalyzer. Bike works well. Reversing Bay is not what you want. That's a constructed card. Part of the road. We got.
Kind of like not much in here.
Not
though.
a lot that excites me here.
Broadside Barrage is a good, like burning on a removal card.
Yeah, this is a strong removal piece. I'm not like spin out is also fine as a removal piece. Like, you know,
The thing is that these are kind of both kind of equally restrictive in their own way. Double black, 2 colors.
Yeah.
Technically, the Barrage is actually slightly easier to play with what your current pick is. Although, you know, it's only one pick.
Right. I'm gonna try out. I'm gonna try this out because I know that I gravitate a little more towards black in the format, and trying something a little different might be fun.
Waxen Shape Thief.
So this is a clone with flash. Clones a creature or artifact you control. Also has
It's a Phyrexian Metamorph, basically, with flash.
Yeah, you control
That's
on it, so it's not full clone. We also have Scurryfoot. We also have Veteran Beast Rider. I'm not going to pick up here, but like just notable cards in here. Red's also got like a lot here. Catalyzer, Petal's fine. Arcatcher's fine. Howler's Heavy gets a lot of work done. It's fine with the clone. Alright. Gearseeker Serpent, Hole Drifting, Ketrodon. Ketrodon's big. That's a card that
it does have 6 power, which is an important value in this format.
Yeah.
Getting past 6 toughness is hard.
Yeah.
Like Broadside Barrage doesn't do it, and that's a card we actively picked.
Yeah, I like Ketrodon in here, especially as like a thing that pays off. Like, hey, Serpent gets us up big, and works with our Thief. We don't immediately have anything that's on like the looting plan, like this Artillerist, but that's the looting plan is one of those things that takes some effort to get together because a lot of the cards that are good for it are just good in Magic because people like drawing and discarding cards. So it becomes harder to okay. Outpace Oblivion looks like another and Lightning Strike. And
Straight up lightning strike
And
and
du-
hazard
and
of the
Hazard the
dunes.
We got the dudes.
Hazard of the beach.
These are strong choices here. Ooh.
Yeah, pick 5. Like that, there was a lot of things
Yeah.
in the way of these for.
Yeah, and also note that like Back on Track is a really powerful revival spell. It comes with the thing. Yeah, like the question is, are we red? And the thing is, there are like some powerful red cards coming around. I like Outpace Oblivion and Lightning Strike as
I like the idea of not going into red though. Just playing straight Simic if we can help, and maybe play the Broadside Barrage, but honestly, not even like guaranteed to.
I'm gonna try this. I know that this passes red over. Red look is something that looks like I want to be on a splash anyway. Okay.
World's Tyrant is a 5-mana 9/7.
Yeah, and then Omnivore is also like, this is a fine 2-drop. Performs, like I talked about, 3 power on 2 drops, you know? But World
And of
Tyrant...
course, there's also the card that searches up of vanilla creatures really actually very good, given how it can put it from anywhere.
Anywhere. I like the idea of getting some of this big green going on here. It's a direction that, like, we look like we're headed.
Howler's Heavy is better than it seems. Like, every part of this card looks like junk, but the thing is, when you put them all together, it's surprisingly good.
Yeah, that the trick itself is like a playable trick in Limited, the -3/-0 draw. And, like, the, I don't know, let's say 10% where you have to cast this as a body, like, is still, like, you know, you're not horrible on having this as a body. Feel the Flames, a lot of this stuff coming back around. This is not our
None of
wheel
these are
pack.
on plan at all.
I'm just gonna grab
Just
it.
Tranquil Cove as you open up a bomb white card, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sunwood Falls came back, like I said.
Yep. Good to see.
Yeah, Sulkin Strength is playable-ish.
Yeah, I'm not huge on it. Okay, well, a lot of the red. I'm gonna grab the catalyzer.
Let's see how much this red is got underpicked. Not enough for the red cards in there to have come back.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
so
actually good to know, though.
we've
That
got
means
big
the red
green.
is actually
The
gonna
thing
be-
is, we've got the top of our curve basically where I want things with like the Shape Thief and a lot of this big green. We're now
Second
looking
Serpent
for
would be nice.
We're now looking for like the filling out the 2s and 3s, and also getting a little bit more interactive elements. If we can find some of the it's hilarious. Ooh.
Wu Yanling Windrider.
The Ling here comes with a vehicle, gives all vehicles flying, and when you hit with a flyer, draw. Hit with one or more flyers. Very powerful. Even if we're not like, we don't have a pile of vehicles hanging around here. This is a card that like gives us evasive, you know, I'm gonna say
This gives you an
Ornithopters,
evasive
Aphidians.
Ophidian, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
Venom
good by
Sack,
itself,
Lagak, and Flood
really.
the Engine are both great here. Stock Up is a card I've been talking the graces of since it's come out, and now it's like a $6 uncommon.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like every time I've seen that card on the other side of the table.
Yeah, it has the expected value of Fact or Fiction, just not at, instant speed. Like, it's really good.
Okay, we got another Broadside Barrage. Ooh. Okay.
Well, that is a vehicle as well, which you just picked up a vehicle.
Yeah, this is also a pretty hefty one, and it gives us a bit more of a direction of like trying to find a couple more low things with these exhausts. I know that the exhausts in this color combination aren't like overwhelming. I think red has a lot of them too. They're kind of spread a bit, but
yeah, it's spread across Teamer, but more in Gruul than it is in blue.
Yeah, the Thundering Broodwagon is also like a wild card. Broadside Barrage 2 is something if we decided we want to do that. But I like the idea of having this as like a direction for the cards we're looking for, where we want to find like things like the 1/3 flyer or okay. Sabotage Strategist, Venom Sack Lagak, Ooze Patrol, Trade the Helm, Trip Up is fine, Hole Drifter's fine. I'm not as huge on Point the Way. It's a little too late. But a lot of good things in here. Really love this Annoying Jerk. Very small, but plays a good defensive role. Comes late. Comes in big late. Venom Sack-Lagak is something strong for us to be doing early. And Ooze Patrol is just big. I'll pick this up, and again, I feel like I'm overvaluing on the 4s, so it's something I want to
Optimizer
fix
is
up.
a 2-drop that grants,
It does,
you know,
like, yeah, I would like to take half that back,
a little
too.
bit of ramp.
So, Boom Scholar is nifty, but, like, not huge. Verge as well to make that splash functional. That might just be the card I want out of here. Because I'm really not impressed by Optimizer being a 2-1 effectively no text in a lot of situations. Like, yeah, we have a couple exhaust bits. I'm gonna pick this up and just, like, keep open red as the broadside barrage comes around. Aether Siphon, this is a draw engine that also has a mill bit on it on the max speed. This is a really, like, low-cost jam day tome. I don't hate that. Spectral Interference, Ether Jacket are also here. Duretti's not a limited card. Willing to grab this. Okay.
Diversion unit.
Diversion unit and Lagak, both cards I want for our early game. Do I value the diversion unit over the Lagak? Yeah, I think so. Muyang Ling gives us a reason to want to have flyers that come down early enough to be able to attack on 4. So that's important. Blowout, another Howler's Heavy? Yeah, okay with another Howler's Heavy. That's probably enough of those. Obviously, they're sitting at... Sure.
They're sitting at 4, but they're most
actually
likely played
hello?
at 2. Stock up came... I guess everyone's already got their full play set of 4, you know?
Well, you've played this card in Limited, and it's nuts, too. This was, like, you know, packed with competition, but happy to see this come back around. That's a wild card to get to resolve. Okay.
Broadside came back again as well.
If we can fix that up. And then in this pack, a lot of it got snatched up. I don't really care about most of this. I'll take Point of the Way, but I'm probably not likely playing it. This thing's possible. It's on the splash, but only if the splash is easy enough. A lot of red coming around. Interesting. All right. Let's see what 3 looks like. Oxanus.
Bulwark Ox.
Ooze Patrol, Run Over. This is something I was talking about.
Solid.
We just don't have, like, having interactive elements. The green in that pack really dried. The blue carried us pretty heavily in that one, so hopefully pack 3 reverses our fortunes there. But Run Over, a lot of our bigger creatures and Serpent work well for that. What do you do?
This is a discard liker.
Discard one or more cards. Our creature plus you. Each card discarded when that creature deals damage. Ophidian. Okay. It's like Pothole Mole is the, like, actual thing I'm thinking about here. The cards we have that work with Howler are Broadside Barrages and Howler's Heavy. Nothing else really next to that. I'm a huge fan of this, of just keeping our deck rolling, where, like, we make land drops.
Yeah.
Outplace Oblivion is also here as well. Maybe that makes it back around if we saw, like, hello. It's funny, like, you know, we're seeing the is it rares, but, like,
how about just a 3-mana 5/4 that also makes your 9/7 a 10?
Yeah, it does affect a couple of our top end things, not the hazard, but the.
I want to see that gorilla, the gorilla shaman.
Yeah,
the one that grabs a.
This pack, by the way, just gonna note, we've got Rise from the Wreck, Omnivore, Run Over, Road Rage, Swashbuckler. We're not, like, Gear Serpent. A lot of stuff in here that's also good. But, like, this is something that fixes up us doing stuff low.
Defend the Rider.
That is, make a 1/1 or make a hexproof indestructible. We've also got, like, heart bike if we want to get up to our top end stuff, which might be
Yeah.
a relevant bit.
It also would gain flying.
Yeah,
when we unlings on the field.
our curve like is asking for a couple things to boost it up. Like we really have a lot of like we have so little twos compared to how I usually play.
Ether Hive 2.
Yeah. Probably not going to get the camera launcher back, but that's what I'm after on the backside there. Slick Imitator, more Pothole Mole.
This is reminding me a lot of playing 4 of Homered Explorer. Sorry, not 4. It was like 6 Homered Explorers, where, you know, your entire deck was just like super top heavy. But hey, it is Aetherdrift. This is a slow format. You know, it's possible.
What if I have 2 of everything I like, you know?
Do have everything you like? Well, you need a few other things. Like, you need...
Like, you know... This is a deck I feel like... I'm going to take Walking Sarcophagus just in case we need some lower-end stuff here. I'm probably playing this Ticket Tortoise just because we have nothing else to do on 2. Okay. Oof, thank you. This is like...
That's something.
That's something. That's something I'm happy about. You know me, I love my 2-drops. They're piece I'm always happy to have a large amount of. So I think one of the questions is, am I splashing for those broadside barrages? Or am I just, like, letting this sit on 2-color, kind of low interaction? Like, am I willing to splash for those as removal pieces? It's kind of the most basic question here. Because we got the Pyre Verge. This is always Mountain, so... If I don't play those, our interactive elements are 2 copies of Howler's Heavy, 1 run over. That's it. Okay. This is what the 40 looks like without the barrages.
The barrages are creature interaction, which you are sorely lacking outside of it.
Yeah, I'm really not liking how little we have for...
You at least have the bike, 1 fixing land, and like... They otherwise cost 3, so it's not like they're usually necessary on...
Yeah, we're not playing them on curve. We're not playing them on curve, mind you. I think I'm willing to put them in here as the splash.
I think purely from the back of the only creature interaction you have otherwise is run over, and like exactly run over. You kind of need them, right?
Yeah. Not certain I need Siphon if I've got a pair of stock-ups plus, like, Muyangling. The card we really wanted for this, like, that kind of makes the value engine come together is the exhaust vehicle that's a 3/3 for 2 that has 4 exhaust. Put a 1/1 counter on this and turn it on, and then whenever an exhaust ability is used, draw a card. That one that makes kind of the exhaust setup work. Yeah, let's do that, and let's do 16. We're basically all creatures is the thing. How good is this gonna be? 3/5 is a huge body for a vehicle. It has a couple cards that make it, like if we were able to curve it off Seeker. Like, what's my most nothing at top end? Do I carry, like... Ooze Patrol? I have 3 exhaust cards. And it's, Sabotage Strategist, Hazard of the Dunes, and Sky Serpent Seeker. Those are the only ones that, like, matter. This is the only one that, like, comes down early enough to generally matter on this. The only other exhaust card we have is the Boom Scholar, and I'm not playing that on a splash. Let me take out the ooze. All right, let's put in these duels. See how this goes. This one's an interesting one. It is a shape that I can immediately see the holes on, but it's also a shape that has some power to it. Sure, all right. Yeah, this is the sort of exhaust stuff I would wish we had.
Yeah.
But
you do have Serpent here, which is actually, you have a solid play to follow up and a decent curve out, so.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good, thanks. Nah, I'm good. That trade doesn't seem in my favor. I'll pass. Alright. Alright, if we draw an untapped land next turn, I can activate Seeker, make a 1/1, and just, like, value town explodes, right? Everything goes really well if I draw an untapped land. Perfect.
There it is.
And we get our red.
Nice. Let's play that barrage. You've now heavily accelerated past that, like, heavily accelerated past
yeah. Now we're able to play, like, World Tyrant, or, like, it may be even, like, Strategist plus something else. Like, okay, Hazard means,
of the Doom.
That's just the barrage target here.
Yeah, and, like, you could just do it before combat and not worry about it, really.
Yep.
You can even stock up following if you wanted, like, or keep
ooh.
up. No, you can't keep that up because you've already played your red.
Yeah. I think it might be just.
And you just discard heavy.
I would say heavy and then play the stock up.
Yeah, as I was thinking. That's like cycling heavy. It's fine, right? Like.
Yeah, none of these are. This isn't like super huge. Grab a land and a mole, I think.
Because that you only have one red pip left in your entire deck, you don't need the mountain.
True.
Like you just played the other red pip in your entire deck.
So we have another barrage for, like, if they play a 5. And I can go, like, barrage, strategist if we draw another blue, or mole, or even Tyrion, the World Tyrant.
Yeah, it's a 9/7.
Okay.
Pretty hard to beat in combat.
And there's something we can not care about, actually. I don't care about that card at all, actually. Okay.
That's not gonna care about. That beats the World Tyrant, so.
Okay. This is Strategist plus Pothole Mole, it looks like. You got it, boss. So I've got a 3/5 I can turn on. And also, Strategist is just -1 to all their attacks. Okay, double black. Think about what they could possibly have to break through this, because they need something that breaks through the barrage. Moles just don't do anything. They just mill 3 cards. It's fine, you know? Hell. You know? Okay. Sure. They're playing that instead of cycling that. Yeah. The main reason they're playing that instead of cycling that is because the strategist can just, like, fly over, kill them. Alright, and then this gets to be 5 in the air, Tyrant Pass. Forgot this thing has Vigilance too. And then our last card. Oof. That's a good last card out of them.
Really good last card.
It's a reach blocker. It has reach, secret reach, because, you know, but they're at 1. So that,
yeah.
That deals with 2 of our flyers. It just doesn't deal with 3 of our flyers. So, yeah, Stock Up is unreasonable as a card. Like, I compare it favorably to Fact or Fiction in that I think that it might be a stronger card in a lot of instances.
I mean, yeah, because, like,
it doesn't graveyard fill in the same way. That's one downside.
It does not. But it does, however, completely avoid the situation of, you know, gotta split the 1/4, and then unfortunately you gotta take the 1, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, like because the cards to compare this to. Let's talk about Stock Up for a bit.
yeah.
So, like, if we're talking about divination, this beats every divination ever printed. Like, by, like, because it's, you know, top 5 pick 2 instead of just draw 2. You have to go to, like, 4C, where you have, like, Scry 2, draw 2, or Scry 4, draw 2, sorry, to get that deep, right? If we're comparing this to Memory Deluge or Dig Through Time, Memory Deluge has more flexibility in the long game. It gets used twice. That's the one that's blue 2 with flashback blue 7. Or sorry, blue 5 for 7 mana. And then Fact or Fiction proper, which looks at top 5 and, you know, gives you 2 to 3 cards. The thing about Stock Up, the bonuses it has that really push it in my mind, against, like, Dig Through Time and Memory Deluge, is that single blue pip and just, like, 3 mana in general. Dig Through Time obviously beats that on efficiency when you have full graveyard built up, but it does ask you to do that. So it, you know, it's different sides. Memory, Dig Through Time is, I think, the stronger card in a lot of ways. It's easy to get that grave filled.
Yes, I mean two and I think the time's an instant, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's another.
Yeah, so
Yeah, they're
like those are the two major reasons why Dig Through Time
yes.
is still going to be the stronger of these two cards. But stock up comparing like reasonably to it is like that by itself makes this card ridiculous.
What are you talking about? You mean scuffed edges? Oh, is there an April Fool's thing I'm not seeing? There must be an April Fool's.
Oh,
thing.
that was the I mentioned it earlier that there was an April Fool's gag that Arena did that I thought was really fun, which is the replacing the cards that have like a these cards have been played heavily over the years and they look like trash now.
Oh, that rules.
Visually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about I came in here earlier, and the April Fool's thing I was thinking about is this.
Dastardly Dwayne and Dwayne.
There's Dwayne and Dastardly Dwayne.
I would imagine actually that in drafts they probably don't have it be a thing because in draft you really need to be able to like recognize a card on site. So
that's like that feels like I'd want that to be like available, but I don't know if that's something that's just like on or off. Oh well. Had it in Cube Draft yesterday. Ah, that's nice. We'll have some packs to open if those come in open packs to show that off at the end. But yeah, another thing I'm thinking about stock up. There's a card in Dragonstorm that is this is fine. This is powerful. The problem, as long as our opponent isn't like here for killing.
As long as they don't play cards on 1 and 2.
Yeah, as long as they're also tap land go,
Hey.
like that's fine.
Tap land go is a good thing to see.
Let's do that for a while. By the by, Legend, don't do it. Like, don't fall for that.
As in copying.
Yeah, don't fall for it.
Yeah.
Just an easy thing to think about. But the thing I was thinking with stock up, there's a card in Dragonstorm. There's a lot of cards in Dragonstorm. There's a lot of very cool cards in that set. But there's a mechanic in Teamer that is Harmonize. It's like a flashback, but you can like convoke for it. This is awkward.
Yeah, you do have the problem of not really having. I mean, Strategist is playable.
Yeah. So the issue here is that if I play stock up, I'm on 8 cards.
Yeah, you need discard that one.
I'm gonna go this. But there's a mechanic that's like flashback, but you can like use a power of a creature to convoke into it. So the flashback's really expensive, but like if you tap like a 4-power creature, it's -4 on the cost.
Yeah.
There is a Snapcaster Mage that has the text of the Snapcaster Mage is give a card Harmonize, and then like the card is a 3/3 for 3 for Teamer mana. And what that means is that like you can play this Snapcaster Mage, and then whatever you give Harmonize, you can flashback for -3 by tapping the 3/3 that you played. So
This Strategist is not surviving. I think it's going to die no matter what, but
okay, they were after engines there. What I want here is you know what?
Petrodon is actually a really good grab when you have the Shape Thief in your hand already.
Yeah, but what if I had 2 strategists?
That's also fair. Yeah, so when they attack, they just don't do any damage.
Like, what if we have 2 strategists? This is a on attack trigger.
Which means you have to do
I've
it
do it
on,
before.
Yeah, like on their upkeep or something.
know what?
You can do it at the end of their first main, but like, yeah, it may as well. It's not like you're
I don't want to open it up to an instant speed removal spell.
Yeah.
Because if they have an instant
That's
speed
fair.
removal spell, like say they went land, go to combat, and then they rides end the card I try to copy, all of a sudden, like, we die. Whereas here, we get the 2/2/2s, and then I can play Catcher on next turn, and we, like, overcome.
I do hope that they're just looking at the board and go like, wait, but all of my creatures have 2 power. I have like 3 more in my hand.
Wait a minute. I'm expecting like a removal spell, which again,
It's mana, yeah,
exactly. Sweet.
They didn't attack though. Okay, like I guess they just that. You know what? The fact that they didn't attack does give you like direction about what they have in their hand. So
Yep. This thing is yeah, it's a blood artist on you control. So, all right. Hey, Ketron. Let's get the board back, and then move from there. Yeah, vigilance. This card has vigilance. I didn't remember that until last game when I had it as a blocker, and I wasn't expecting that. Sure. Alright, so cool thing I get here is that I still get to attack with a strategist. I'm not gonna pump it. That's like doable but expensive. I want to get some more board presence down. Anyway, here's our very hefty board. I could have like sat with the tortoise or whatever, but back on track. Sure, that picks up a body that's not big enough. We're
This is the thing about Aetherdrift, is what I was talking about. Of you have to be able to beat 6 toughness. 6 toughness is the number that like stuffs everything, almost all creatures. There's a lot of things that do 5. There's a lot of things with 5 power, but there's not that many things that have specifically 6 or higher.
So, I tapped out for the strategist here because it's a 3-turn clock. 15, 10, 5.
Yeah.
God, they have double blood artist. Okay, we need to just... we're gonna ride down a blood artist. Like, that's just gonna happen next turn. Let's start with...
That makes World Tyrant at 10-8 because it's
does.
a dinosaur.
Let's start with stock up.
Barrage is a good thing to see.
Barrage and a land
Yeah,
to play barrage.
that's what I would do.
Yeah. What does Gonti do? If we get hit, they get to steal the top card of our deck.
Which is more or less what original Gonti did too. So,
Yeah.
if I remember right. Or rather, no, I think that Gonti did it just on play, and like it exiled the card and you could play it whenever.
Yeah, so
Something like that.
we're gonna go ahead and just start removing problems.
Yeah, just get the Blardists out of here, because they're the most dangerous part of their board when you get down to it.
Yep. The thing I'm worried about pothole mold. In the long term is yeah. And then run over, target. Alright. Blood artists are off the table. If they want to come in to try to get Gonti cards, they have to
They're going to lose a lot.
they have to lose a lot of their board.
Yeah.
Which they might want to do,
And-
because...
I think they do. Like,
Yeah.
they're running out of cards to play.
Okay, Pactol, that's a good...
another drainer.
That's a good one. But they're going to lose like 4 bodies if they come in this way. And also there's a strategist, which makes things even worse. Okay.
And your opponent has cowardice in their heart, because
Yeah.
they've spent so long not attacking anyway.
Let's go ahead and stock up again. Get our let's get the best things back in hand. Sky
Serpent can just be activated pretty much immediately.
Yeah, Sky Serpent and Diversion Unit. Like, let's just get flyers going.
Get flyers. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's play the Verge.
I really legitimately think that while green is pretty solid in this format, the most important thing that green has in this format is creatures that have greater than 6 power and toughness.
All right. They're dead on board next turn. Because we have 9 points of flyers. They can block 1 and die.
They decide to concede or attack all out and hope.
Yep. But again, attack all out is
They should have attacked and hope, all attacked all out and hope, because there technically could theoretically be an out for having done that.
Yeah. But like this level of beef just stopped them. The second Ascendant was very
Oh, for sure. Their 2 blood artists were nasty, but
I think the
thankfully...
the turn they played Gonti, they needed to start like moving.
Yeah.
I think they needed to like start moving off of that. Also, just gotta say, the power of stock up there, where it's just like, what if I don't know, just like tutor removal from my deck? That's pretty easy, right?
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, look through top 5 is 1/8 of your deck.
Yeah,
it's so much of it, you know.
Yeah.
1/8 of your total deck, because like by the time you play it, it's guaranteed to be 1/6 at that point.
Yeah, by that point you're at 30 cards remaining because you've drawn 3, like minimum.
Yep. So, I mean, the other thing is, I'm really glad that you included the 2. Is it
those
spells,
things have been
you
pretty?
definitely need. Yeah,
pretty
you needed
key.
the removal.
This is nice. This is actually really nice looking. It's got the double blue for strategists. It's got a nice curve. It's missing like a little bit of green, but like Pothole Mole can probably fix that up. Just thinking about like if we draw our Tyrant. Thinking about Diversion Unit as a counterspell and forget it's just a good fly. Alright, then we got Beast Rider Vanguard. That's fine. Hi, it's time for Omnivore. If they attack in, I won't trade because Pothole Mole. Like.
Yeah, Pothole Mole trades much more favorably.
Yeah. Okay.
Or is Mole a 3/3?
No, Mole's a 2/3.
2/2/3. Okay.
2/3.
I should have. For some reason, I thought it was. I shouldn't assume that they print Gray Ogres anymore.
No. Well, you don't play them.
Yeah. He'll play a 3-mana 2/3 or 3-mana 3/2 sometimes.
I'm willing to trade on this side of it because like that's if they're gonna choose to play defense like that, it's gonna happen. Now the question here is if I want to play the Tortoise or if I want to play the Mole.
Mole would put a card back in your hand, but it will have to be a land. You have no other.
Yeah. I'm going to assume they've got a 4th land and just go for the Mole.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. End step, cycle trip. Oh, they're off color.
That's good. I like to see that. They're not off color.
They're not off color. Ooh, that's a good one. Needs double blue, but it's still a good one. Okay. Thinking about combat first. Hey, Blazing Blade. We've got Simic splashing red for some kill spells only. That it's just some kill spells, and like that is working out. Oh, I should play the revealed land. So the Ticket Tortoise, the reason we keep thinking about what's going on here is that if our opponent controls more lands than us, we get a treasure for playing this. The problem is that like with our opponent doing this like cycling stuff in the back, I want to pressure them. I don't want to play a 3/1 defender. I want to play cards that like push our opponent down while they're still like sitting here. Like they had to cycle a really goddamn good creature we don't have a good answer for. You know, I'm glad for that because I don't really have a good answer for that one. But yeah,
you have. It's a 2-card answer. You'd need specifically your 10/7 and your
Okay.
That's probably grabbing.
Yeah,
Okay, it's just
okay.
a brick.
And they missed a land drop. Okay. So that means the ticket tortoise
Do
ain't
you want to
doing
grab a second strategist again, so you could just, deal with them? They haven't played any removal, right?
Oh my god, just play strategist too. This thing does have reach, so
Yeah.
we can't get over.
Oh, yeah, fair, I guess.
We might just want to stock up.
That's fair. I mean, World Tyrant's actually really nice to see, because you want to talk about things that, they
Yeah.
probably can't deal with.
I don't have the third green. Might be worth taking the forest if I did that, but Broadside Barrage also deals with this. Like,
Broadside Barrage is also good, yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna grab the World Tyrant, and assuming third land is coming, and grab the Barrage. I am not going to worry about this ticket tortoise in the long term. I'm not gonna not play lands, which does mean I'm just gonna go ahead and get this down on the board. I know it doesn't do much, but there's no point in me holding it if I'm still making land drops for the next couple turns. And this is only on our, so. Okay, so they've got...
Barrage also cycling means that you have a decent chance of...
Yes.
Grabbing the
Okay,
forest as
they
well.
want the second blue because then they can Mind Spring Merfolk for draw 3. That's a pretty, fine plan. This gives them another flying body. Thinking about what I want to blast here with the Barrage, because killing the Merfolk means they don't have that as, an option for, getting out of this position. Whereas, this, we'll just be able to run over as we buff this later. So I think I care more about the Mind Spring Merfolk getting off the table.
Yeah, I agree with that, honestly. And I mean, strategist exhausting is actually pretty soon, right? So...
Yeah, that'll be next turn if we have another land. I'm gonna go down...
It is again, if you just cycle it.
Yeah. It's not green either, that's annoying. I might just want to, discard the land to this. That might be greedy.
Not a bad idea either, the mountain and just stay greedy. Just cycle heavy at the end of set.
And then we get to play out the end. What we need the mountain for is that we have a
okay.
we have a 7 cost exhaust here that gets us over the board. That's what I was thinking about, but it's not really worth the amount of effort that would take for it. I'd rather just draw that 7th land naturally than having to discard with something like a fine combat trick or a clone for giving us another strategist, something like that. Again, the opponent's a little... They have 5 lands. They're not, mana locked, but, they don't have a ton going on. Okay, that's something like Howler's Heavy, who's able to do some work on. Okay.
Oh, that gives you the green and the and the 7th mana.
Okay. Yeah, we just get to... Okay. Bike, I think I have, reasonably clean kill on. I can, block it with this vehicle and the tortoise. That kills it. Alright. We're good. Nah, that's fine. So we'll do this.
Then you can heavy...
Yeah.
And that basically means they only get the tortoise off of it. Okay.
It's a pain.
That's a little annoying considering it
Yeah.
means you can't kill this or save the tortoise, so this is kind of a
That, I think, is fine. I'm going to take 5 trample, and then we just copy the strategist here. And then I can just play World Tyrant and, like, have these flyers, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, card we knew. Yep. So they can't, like, block there because we can pump the one they block.
And you can still take out the 7/6 in combat with the World Tyrant without losing it because you still have heavy backup.
Yeah, and the strategist, which give it -2. So it attacks as a 5/6
Yes.
right now. So
That's fair.
we the big thing I like is that heavy lets us, like, stop something like if they go for, like, a bite down on the World Tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You clearly have something. Huh? Show it to me.
Something post-combat? Just like a lightning strike or something? If that's the case, reducing its the damage it does is a way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this. Just in case there's a lightning strike. Or maybe a pyroclasm.
Regardless, something that leaves it alive instead of
Yeah.
dying after combat. So
Yeah,
then this
that's my
probably cuts off a large number of avenues there.
The worst thing, I think, like, pyroclasm would be something that they would have had a really good... Oh, just pick it back up. Sure.
Ah, well, that
doesn't
really do all that much.
do that much, because, like...
You still replaced it. You didn't play a card there to you know, do that. You just cycled a card.
Yeah. Sure.
Speed is now online.
And they get
on
one,
turn,
one
like,
and
I don't know,
they get
18?
1/1s that have to attack. Oh my god.
There we go. That's some good stuff.
So I can't do that pre-combat. I have to do it post because of the way that the... You know. But we still get to do it, so... This looks silly, but, like, the way that our strategists function, we force the Fang Druid Summoner to be a chump blocker against whatever strategist they choose to block. If they choose to block 1, or they take 7, I'm just going to choose to... I'm going to get one of these through.
I mean, hey, nothing wrong with just doing half of their life
Yeah.
total.
Because they're going to play this 6/6.
Okay.
That's their way of not dying. We want to draw, like, stock up and then grab our bite or something like that. Yeah, you got it, boss.
-1. It's a good goblin.
Does the thing have to attack? Yeah, that has to attack.
Only this combat, if able. It's only
Yeah.
mad the first turn it comes in.
Anyway. So now we've got a lot of flying left over. We've got 4 flyers, they've got 3. They've got a life cushion, so, like... It's not immediately easy for us to break through. Oh, hand off trample. That's a nice one. I like this one. Alright. They get... a goblin will die on every page. So they've got 4 flying blockers to our 4 flying attackers, so there's not really... Thank you. You do, in fact, love to see it. The best card. Okay.
I'm glad to get rid of all of these off the top of your deck.
No shit, this is not where you want to be.
I guess Thornwood Falls gains you life, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Technically better.
So, what do I want to do here? Do we want to be aggressive then? Like, if I... Or we could wait 1 turn, have access to Strategist pump, and then untap, attack all out, and make the Ketrodon not deal lethal. That sounds more reasonable. Which means I need to play an untapped land.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like 1 turn long game here where we're going to, like, end step pump the Strategist, then we're going to, like, go in and use the Howler's Heavy to make the Ketrodon not kill a 5/5 in combat, and then everything else, like, should either kill or bounce. So, that's the idea here. Glad we got past 4 lands, though. That's, I'll have to note we have 13 cards in deck, and the bottom 3 are lands right now, right? Like... No.
Yes.
Oh, boy. We know a few of the cards are bottom of our deck. So we currently have 4 lands in the bottom of our deck, and 10 lands known. There's 3 lands in the top 7. Okay.
Don't you have a land in your grave as well?
2 lands in the top 7.
Yeah.
We also have a Broadside Barrage and no stock ups. We have the Bite still, too. There's some pretty powerful stuff still left in that top 7. Hello.
There you go.
Okay, so...
Very good thing to have drawn.
Let's just go ahead and make it happen.
Get rid of the 6/6.
Yeah. They were leaving the Engineer activation up. So their best play here would be like a bounce or something. I'm just going to start piloting.
Because you're definitely not dead on Crackback,
Yep.
basically, because there's only, like, actually 1 power on the board. Well, they've got, like, 3 power on the board.
Yeah, because of the strategist, they would have to have some weird answers. So this is like this is the abyss, you know.
Yeah.
The strategist is still vigilant. God. So they might go like for a triple block to kill a strategist or something like that, and then. Wow.
Just to get the Bolt Iron out of the way.
Okay.
They're chumping a strategist.
They're killing this 3/2 flyer.
And the bike. So they're willing to take 5. You can save.
Yeah, I can.
I don't think it's super worth saving the vehicles.
Might be worth just saving the World
The
Tyrant.
Bolt Tyrant? Yeah, I think so, honestly.
Yeah. And another flyer.
Nice. It's not the flyer, yeah.
Bonk, 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 bonk. Get them a 6, and look at their board go, and also we get a card for this. The other thing is that, you know what they killed?
Ketrodon. Nice.
You know what they killed out of us?
2 bikes and that's
2
it.
bikes. We still have 6
Yeah.
attackers. Holding the Thornwood Falls because there's a blast still in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Broadside Barrages is still in the deck.
Yep.
We're also
Your opponent
immune
has
to
to
like.
work really hard to make it out of this.
Yeah, we're also immune to like Wrath of God. turn your board sideways and just, yeah. What color is this on? That's on blue. They only have one red.
Math is for blockers, and thankfully for us, the math is super easy on blockers.
Yeah, my goodness. A rise from the wreck again, sure.
So they got their 7/6 back. Or did they grab Catrodon again? They grabbed Catrodon again. Okay.
Play out the Omnivore.
Which they can't play, though. So, like, I think that means that they lose?
I think we just...
Functionally?
Well...
Yeah, okay. Oh, hey, Hazards of the Dunes. I completely forgot you were in this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they were not on board. They can't block that at that point.
We've seen it in a couple games, and this is a thing that I highly valued the card for, but like it underperformed in a couple of our games previously where we had it. The strategist is just doing a lot of lifting. Like combat, especially because like the games where we've had double strategist, where it's like, what do you do?
Like, yeah, I mean, your board just sucks
like,
now.
What are you gonna do? Attack? Like you attack with all your board, and you hit me for 7 on your like 21 power. You know, like all of a sudden, what looked like really strong offense turned off significantly. Yeah, the zombie board our opponent had was just a bunch of 2/2s, and it's like, well, good strategy is to be a vigilant dragon that turns off your opponent's board. That's true. That is a really good strategy. I've played against, Jace, Architect of Thought. Very annoying against, Lingering Souls tokens. Love to see, like, just this sort of thing keep coming up. That's nice.
No plays till 3, but thankfully we're on the play, so...
Ooh.
Wind-scarred Craig is here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
2.
I mean, that's actually not bad, because Mole just trades with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Mole. Great.
Nice.
Easy.
Honestly, a great discard
Easy.
there off of the...
Yeah, get a land out of there, heavy in the grave, and then get us a red source. I will...
Every time heavy gets discarded for any reason or milled out, that just means you basically cycled it, and that's great.
Okay, sure.
You're spending a lot to keep around a 3/2 vanilla creature. Is that like their only creature like until 5?
They might not have another 3.
Yeah.
I'll go with... We're in a weird position here. I have
got a
every
lot
vehicle.
of vehicles, but no creature to,
Nothing
through
to...
it. But, I mean, World Tyrant can just come down next turn.
Yeah,
so.
that is the plan here, is I'm just going to play World Tyrant next turn and pass. Don't do it.
Doesn't work.
Don't do it. So if they kill World Tyrant, we crew and have a blocker. This thing is actually really strong with speed up, so... Ooh, okay. Alright. They can cycle for free. And they don't want this because they already have enough mana, so that makes sense. Okay. Alright, let's get... I'm gonna get the bike down, and then I'm gonna play stock up. Ooh,
They're tapped out. If they want, I mean, Mu Yanling when you have 3 vehicles.
And then like Broadside Barrage deals with the gunner or the spell.
I was also just thinking like they're tapped out. If you wanted to just swing in, they'd have to block with both of their reach creatures.
Problem
to be
is
able to kill World Tyrant.
The problem is I think they take that and then crush us back. I don't think we're on the offense yet.
Okay.
I think next turn we turn that on. I feel a little too loose in our position on the board to want to push in. Fuck. Okay.
I mean, that you can block any of these still.
Yeah,
So that's fine.
thank God.
Summit's the thing that's dying now to Broadside Barrage. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Oh, yeah. We were dead if we attacked last turn. Oh, my God.
Not literally.
No, literally. This is 20 on board. This card has haste.
Well, yeah, but if you... okay, yeah, fair.
No, wait. Oh, thank God we can kill Summit. Okay. We're weirdly... We're fine. We're fine. They might attack all out. It's possible they attack
all out. That's probably actually one of their better moves right now is attack all out. But
they hit us to 3.
Yeah.
I think attack all out was better there. All right, well, let's
That's legitimately Forest is a good draw. Getting land 7 here is a good thing. Wait until mid combat.
No.
I don't hate that.
No, I don't have enough blue.
Oh, you don't. It's true. Wait, no, bike.
No, because we still need blue and red. Blue, red, and then 4 green and a blue. We don't have enough to play Muyang.
Oh, shit. That's right.
All right, we need to do this now, then.
Yeah, okay.
Frick. I don't care about this bike.
Yeah.
Awkward. It's fine. Like, Ketrodon and Shapeshift Ketrodon are gonna be just fine. Shapeshift. Shapeshift. Shapeshift can show up as a 9/7. As I've said, don't do it. Don't do it.
Legendary is a copyable value. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah, that's the thing I've been specifically actively saying aloud so I don't fuck up. Because it's that important.
It's really easy to forget that all of the vanilla, except for the Gibrick, are legendary. Every single one of them.
Right, let's get it. Let's just get big bodies. Let's gain life. We can copy this. We have... Like, we're just here for big bodies now. I think World Tyrant can come in next turn.
With double Ketrodon as blockers? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Ooh, that changes the math.
They have 1 activation of that right now.
That changes the math.
Changes the math for them, too, like, on offense. Like, they could possibly... They can't swing in this turn, but...
Yeah.
I mean...
Right? Like, this is...
This does make the math complicated, yeah. They're absolutely leaving that up on purpose now.
Yeah. The big thing is that it changes the math on World Tyrant where we can't 2-for-1 anymore. They can block 4, block 5, and yeah. They have enough mana up to knock it out the box.
Now, if you drew your dinosaur anthem,
that would still not be enough. They'd have 11 toughness to 10 power.
Well, no, you just double the
well,
that's good. It would be enough because you wax and shape thief it instead of a second Ketrodon.
So, that's true. We don't aim this at 5. They can pump, but they can't save the Beast Rider. So, they'll probably Beast Rider in response. Yep. No Beast Rider in response.
I figure that's transparently they don't plan on attacking this turn. Either that or they just missed the window.
Then I'm coming in.
Go for it.
The math is no longer wrong.
All right. They were leaving that up instead. Now
Don't do it. Unless. Unless. Sometimes do it. So, okay. They're on top deck mode, but they have the gunner, which means it's hard for them to draw dead.
Yeah, they get to draw twice per turn, basically.
Yeah.
They hadn't been doing that every turn, have they?
No, they like
keeping things.
They like their hand. Okay, they're playing the starting column because starting column is would draw if they get to max speed. I don't think they're going to be getting to max speed anytime soon.
I really would like not that. I mean, is there any reason to play Mu Yan Ling? The problem is that they have good blocks for both of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play Mu Yang Ling post combat.
At the very least, her being on the field means that you can activate blockers, you know?
Yeah. That's the main thing.
Of course, yes. That jump makes sense.
I love that jump. So, pile of flyers. The thing is that the world... So, they have us on long term. Well, that's funny. Yeah.
Again, well, it kills Mu Yan Ling. 5 damage isn't enough for the big boys in this set.
Yep.
And they're absolutely feeling that right now of like, I can't kill the 6/6 or the 9/7.
This is a really good draw for them because it is a speed. And,
Yes.
and speed gets them this column to more draw. So, like, long term, it's good for them. I need, like... We played a stock up. We played one stock up.
You played one stock up so far, yeah. I believe you played both barrages.
Give me the Sky Serpent.
Yeah.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that one. Let's see if they're going to take the trade. Okay. So we have Ketrodon, can block both of theirs. Again, they can still cycle every turn, so they can't draw dead. Unless they draw 2 lands, which is unlikely. That's a pretty good one. That one beats my board. Worried about... I want a card with exhaust. Not a card with exhaust. Yeah, so Dunes gets in. We don't have the bodies to block this. I don't think they pump it. 13, okay. We are pretty good odds for live draws here. Ooh. This is too many bodies. Because, like, right now we're looking for... That's fine. I don't think they wanted to use that here. I think they wanted to use that after their draw step next turn. Thank you! All right. Okay. I think we're going Imperasaur Skyseeker Serpent here.
Sounds good to me. Getting a 10-7 on a 10-8 and a 7-7 on the field. Pretty
Yeah.
good. Or rather, sorry. I was looking away from it. I didn't see that Sky Tyrant died, but
Yeah.
that's a 7-7 now, which is good.
The 7/7 matters because they have a Hazard of the Dunes.
Yes.
So, like, that trades, and so does Serpent. Now, the problem with activating Skyseeker Serpent is that it flips to get 2 lands. Yeah. Oh! We have another problem.
Oh, wow. They have a lot of card draw then.
Yeah. So this is 6 or kill a vehicle. 6 is not 7. Okay, hand off trample.
Brown's deck is pretty sick.
Yeah, they've got, like, this is Gruul splash white for, like, some
Summon
powerful,
and also Ride's End and
some
Peace
powerful
Rider.
things and not so powerful things. That's fine. Crash and burn. Okay, so what we're gonna do is step 1, activate.
By the way, you want to talk about... oh, wow. You still managed to land 2.
Step 2, activate.
You managed to land 2.
Uh-oh.
What was I gonna talk about? Wow, my thought is gone. It's dead.
Rip. So bad news. Frozen Eye is now active.
Ooh, yeah.
Tweet. Can I win?
Oh, yeah. Here's what my thought was. You want to talk about Secret Reach? Here's the exact opposite, by the way. Your opponent who's playing every reach.
Secret.
Flying seems fake.
Secret? Yeah, Muyang Ling had no text. So we've got a problem.
Ian Link made a 3-2. She
True.
made the
True.
vehicle.
But, like,
You do have a problem, though,
We have-
because
we have a
I don't
problem.
think you have the ability to beat this board in your deck.
Yeah, the other problem is that they're, like, drawing 2 plus a turn.
Now, hold on. If they
13.
can't kill you, they lose first because they deck out first.
Yes. If we're able to somehow, like, stabilize the position.
Which, I mean, you still have your own Hazard of the Dunes, don't you?
Yeah, it's in the bottom of the known stack.
That's transparent. They're going to do it, but yeah, I guess you'd take that trade anyway. And if they have an alternative way of also pumping it further...
They have to tap out for the trade.
Right, so they can't. They're just taking the trade.
Yeah.
You've got a decent amount of power toughness in your vehicles. So, like... And also, once
Yeah.
Strategist is on the field, that makes their attacks even worse.
Yeah, and I can, like, play Strategist, pump Strategist immediately. So, that's not a
Yeah.
problem. The problem is just, like, the long-term, like... They can't draw dead.
No, their draw is amazing. They definitely are. The
Yeah,
ideal situation here for us at this point is simply they can't beat us with the things that they can draw. I don't know. I don't think that that's likely. But
Yeah. Alright, so... Activate you. Activate. you. It's not enough.
What is that, the green belt exhaust into?
This one,
Six,
5-5. 5-5.
5-5, okay. So you can kill that with a double block.
I'm thinking about killing this
that
with a double
you can
block,
just... Okay.
Or like, I guess we double block here, or I just single block and then double block over here, right? Like that's the, what does this thing do? Tats, sure. We'll do this. Yep. I can hand off trample. Yep. Okay. Sure. Nice. I like Molt Tender. All right. Hello, buddy. Let's go.
So this now blocks everything on their board.
Yep.
Just full on. So that's good.
Now the thing
You
that,
still have a 3-5 and a 4-2 in your deck. You made another 1-1.
the other thing that's incredible about our position, they are forced to draw 2 every turn at this stage.
Yep.
Their deck is currently 9 cards.
Basri's not fast enough to go wide.
Well,
against you.
1-1s don't do anything even.
That too, yeah.
Okay, they're going even deeper, which they have to. I think they're looking for like an answer, right? They're looking for a way to end this.
Yes. Which I guess we know we don't have.
Yeah,
so. This
Okay.
right here is...
So that lets them look at their top 3 for a permanent.
Man, do they have a big board.
Oh
but
my
this right
God.
here is, I think, extremely emblematic of Aetherdrift.
We're just sort of like,
You're just staring at each other across the table like, well, whoever makes the first play mistake loses.
so don't do that.
So don't do that, yeah.
They could attack, but we have like pretty good blocks because of the strategist. They're out of cards in hand.
Yep.
They could
don't
try to
have,
play
like,
for a long term, but they can't like go for a go wide because of the strategist. If they can draw a kill spell. All right, hold on. I need to count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 lands shown, 6 cards left in deck.
So let's give them the concern of like they're an arena player and probably play slightly down on lands.
Yeah, like 16, let's say. So 4 live cards.
Let's say 16. So yeah, 4 live cards, of which they have 2 turns to do anything with those because they dig through 3. Well, they're not forced to do one.
They're not forced to do one of those.
They're forced to do only one of them. So that means that they have 3 turns to
Yes.
find something that does something.
All right. That's a land. Next turn we get a body, and then the turn. Our card here is actually very strong. The hazard of
Yes.
the dunes is. It comes with a 1/1.
It comes with a 1/1 and is a 7/7.
Yeah. I'm honestly just fine with the 3/2 draw. It's a body. It can crew. It prevents going too wide. We're just. Kill spell for the strategist is the worst thing. That's their way out. If they have that, I don't think we can win.
For sure. Yeah, that is just full on kind of a game loss at that point. They did play a lot of kill spells earlier in the
Yes,
game.
yeah.
Is the thing. So it's not unreasonable to assume that they've run out. But at the same time, they haven't conceded. So like,
Yeah, right. The fact that they're still here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Cycling with the kill a artifact, so they get to get rid of my Ether Hive. Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't...
That's not that bad for us in practice.
Okay.
And also, they cycled, so they drew a card.
Yeah. They might... If that's a
Let's
land,
go.
they'll discard it. Uh-huh. That's a land. They're on 2 cards left in deck. They have to kill us this or next turn. Those are the only options left.
God, I can't believe that
Oh god, we're coming in.
they're currently in the position I thought that we were in, for what it's worth.
All right, so here's the press. Okay, so let's plan out the blocks first. We can block Thunder Gunnerhead here. We can block the 4/4 here, and I can like. I don't think that's. I don't think to read that as confident. I read that as necessary.
This isn't confident. This is desperate. This is like, I don't have any other plays. I just hope the math works out for them at this point.
I read
So
this as
I think
necessary.
Yeah, they're doing this because they have to. They can't win the game if they don't do this. So I think it's just full on. You block the 3/5 with your 5/4, and you block their 4/5 with your 5/5. Sorry, 4/5. Yeah, 4/4 with your 5/5. And then like I don't know, the 1/4 with your 4/2 because it's a fly reach. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to kill the 4/2 that draws.
Yep, that thing is actually helping you right now. That's hey, they've got like the least dangerous bomb in the world going right now, but I mean it is still killing them. So
Post combat, they're gonna crack the land for a 1/1, and then we are going to play the last turn of this game. Have fun, everybody.
This is it. Either your opponent wins this turn, or we win their next turn.
Ride's End. That's huge. So Ride's End the strategist.
So then you make the bike crude Mao. Do you have enough blockers to survive? Is the question.
I believe so. They have 8 attackers, 5 blockers.
And that means that, yeah, they don't have enough creatures to get through.
So we go.
It doesn't matter if your creatures die at this point, so you just make the block as much power as possible.
Yeah, so I'm just doing like specific trades on things. And then we take 3.
Yep. On board anyway. And I... Wow.
Cycle a Ketrodon. Good game. Incredible match. So
drew every single card in their deck, and we drew almost every single card in our deck.
This is an important game in finding your route. Like determining our route to victory in this game was the most important like planning session piece of this, right? Like we
and it was once we've lost the ability to defeat their board, it was stay alive until they kill themselves.
Yeah, like I think without this spike spitter we win. Or sorry, they win. I think without this.
Funnily enough, the thing that drew them more cards is the thing that killed them. It's so funny. Because
I don't think we can win like a fair one-on-one match, or like a match, especially with them still being able to draw too.
You got an achievement?
So they added. This is a pretty neat thing. I think they added a bunch of like,
Oh right, I remember these.
Chivos for things. And
yeah, they did add these.
They give you like titles. Like you get like card sleeves or like little emotes or it's like a cute little thing to play towards.
Yep. Something that gives you a reason to play Arena more if you want to than if otherwise people are just basically playing their dailies and then getting out.
I kind of want to have this. I'm not going to like do something towards it but I'm just gonna it will happen over the course of things that I'm gonna have greatness at any cost ready. But yeah, That game was an important part of sending off Aetherdrift Limited. That's true. Like, that felt... The navigation of that game felt really good. And also, like, we needed that Ride's End to be at the bottom of their deck. They knew they had it. That's why they were still there, right? I'll be honest. I think the turn they lost the game was when they didn't attack with Samut. They should have put us to 3. Like, if they attacked with Samut and everything else, we are forced to block Samut or we die. And then Samut dies, but we go, like, combat damage doesn't happen until, like, then we go to 3, and we go to 3 with 1 body on board to their 3 lethal attackers. So, I think they just needed to kill us there. That was the missing piece. You know, I gotta say, this mana base, pretty good. Ooh, Aggro Crag. Okay, well, Pothole Mole is nice to stop that. That's good. Sometimes madness for attackers. Here's the trick. I'm... thinking. So one of the things about this Dynamite Diver is that the diver here, if it dies, is going to kill my flyer regardless. I think I'm playing for a little bit longer of a game. We're going to take 2 trample, but we're going to, like, turn off the ping that's going to kill that regardless, and we're going to use Pothole Mole to keep us rolling. We're going to use Pothole Mole to mill 3 cards. Thank you, Pothole Mole. I appreciate you, Pothole Mole. We need a 3rd green source? Ooh, that's a strong piece. This card's really good. What do we mill off that, by the by? Imperiosaur, Muyang Leg. And a... Wow! Okay, well. Not like aggressively what I'm looking for. Like, what I'm happy to see milled. It's not great. Let's stock up.
I just sat back down. What'd you mill that was problematic? Was it 3 non-lands?
Imperiosaur... It wasn't just 3 non-lands, it was like 1st, 2nd, 3rd best cards in the deck, sort of thing. You know, that sort of thing. It's fine though. Like we have 4th, 5th, and 6th in the deck for reasons. Now the mill was literally Imperiosaur stock up, which
gotcha.
So
hey, that happens with mill. It's fine.
Yep,
that's mill.
That's mill. I'm fine with that because it's still traded off, and we're still.
That gives you a better trade with your Ticket Tortoise.
Yeah. So coming in with the Mako. This thing gets pretty dangerous. Okay, playing the Artillerist. You know what?
How will we play 9/7?
You need blue removal. You're not killing this with a red removal.
Yeah, there are no... I mean, unless they attack in and then get it afterwards.
I would take that 2 for 1, so...
Mm-hmm. If they broadsided it, basically, after doing this.
I'll take that.
Which I think that's the idea.
That's likely what's going on here is a broadside mid-combat.
Yep.
If they draw into a lightning strike, they get to look really funny. Okay.
It is, in fact, still 2 for 1, so...
Okay, so we've spent both stock ups. I'm fine with that. That isn't really a piece of our plan. It's just good. We're running them out of cards. They have 1 card left in hand, so like right now we're actually in a fine position. I might go ahead and just get this off the table, I think. Alright, before I play a land, specifically before I play a land, alright. So we have, the current thing I'm worried about is that we have a lot of, like, beef in the yard, and not a lot in, like, we're liable to just be drawing lands like them. So... we can do it. This is legal. It's legal to do that one.
Very sad to use it on it, but
right now,
it is what it is.
Like, the aggression is where I want to be. We're both on...
rush them down before their board gets back in business, yeah.
Right, this is an opponent on top decks, and we're also on top decks, but we have board advantage. Let's use it.
Yeah.
And it does what it needs. You know what? Sometimes clone is a 3-2.
Yeah, and I think they backed out a little early, but that's still...
Well, probably not, in the sense that, like, say their hand is blank right now, they take 6, draw a blocker, they're dead, right? Like, they...
I suppose.
Yeah, it is hard to make the call to make a clone on Grizzly Bear, but sometimes... Ooh, hi. This deck is rolling.
Which doesn't feel like it should, but it is.
I still feel like somebody who shows up with a... Like... I was scared of specifically, like, that sort of start with an aggro line, but... Like, they weren't able to actually leverage the aggression for damage. It was just kind of like for trades. They had some, like, fine mono value trades. 1 up to a 2, a 2 up to a 3, like, stuff like that. But, like, we still had the long-term advantage, and they weren't able to actually turn that into damage on us. This is fine.
Okay, this is, I think... Oh, okay, fair enough. So, I was actually thinking this is I think one of your worst.
It is
starting hands, but
this is. I agree. This is the worst starting hand we've seen, but that's because I think every starting hand we've seen is 3 lands, all colors.
That's fair. Actually, you have been drawing really good on that front.
The reason I'm fine here, 1, on the draw. Like, any land gets us Pothole Mole.
You do have
Forest gets us this.
Yeah, and you do have the heavy to cycle and also the diversion unit by itself just to play.
So, like, this is asking for land 3, and I would obviously love it to be a forest, but, like, land 3 gets Pothole Mole, you know, heavy gets land 3. So. Mm-hmm. Swamp. Okay.
And some swamps.
Pothole Mole has some strong positioning now with against the 2/2. Ooh.
Esper.
Okay. What's the splash there? Why you 3 colors? What?
I would assume.
So I think white is a main color. You don't play this in a deck that isn't like.
Yeah, you don't play this without it being a main color. You're right.
So
I was a little weirded out though because like they're playing the the fancy lands for Swamp and Island, but not for Plains.
True. I'm gonna guess splash black for Haunt the Network.
What's the chances actually that you don't play Mole and you just take that diversion unit in combat with heavy? I don't necessarily think that that's better or anything, but it is an option available to you.
I think I want the Mole to open up, like, because like the Mole still stops this, and if we trade diversion units, I'm fine with that.
That's fair.
I want to make sure that I actually have the land. Oh, hello.
Get your green. You don't need the blue in your hand right now.
Yeah, we're holding the need for it. I'm gonna play defense. I think our deck is better long term. The hazard.
It's fine. You have other things to play.
It's true.
It's not a dinosaur, and you have an Imperiosaur in your hand.
And we're gonna trade diversions. I'm fine. Like flyer in, flyer out. That's fine by me. Second white. They really want the speed. Okay. Strategist. The reason I'm going strategist is so that next turn I can go Imperiosaur, leave up heavy. In case of something occurring here. Or like, maybe I just play the Thornwood Falls. Ooh, okay. I think the Haunt the Network call is pretty on for the splash now in my mind. Imperiosaur means we can start getting, like, aggressive at them. I don't think I'm using Howler's Heavy here. I'm just going to take 3, and then we're going to crack back for 7. So, I don't like letting them have speed, and yes, we don't... You know, we only take 2, but... I don't like letting them have that 3rd point of speed, but I can't really do... Yeah, I think Haunt the Network. No! Okay, alright. Yeah, it's fine. Get in there. If they double block, we have our own Howler's Heavy to make the double block into a super good trade. Alright. I will take it. Thank you, Howler's Heavy. And then I'm going to go ahead and play tapped land and stock up here. Let's get action. Muangling and, Omnivore. All right. I'm going with the Omnivore over the Pothole Mole there, specifically as a more aggressive line. I want the extra power creature rather than the mole, like, advantage. Right now, we're not in a position where I super need the... Okay, well, Collision Course is annoying, but what do you do? So they're on speed. Ooh, okay. We need to get in with Imperiosaur. We also have Pump Imperiosaur if things are fun, but I want to play Muangling on the turn. All right. And now, well... Things are looking pretty nice. They don't have the mana for Strategist activation yet. They're going to draw their card. Yep, they're going to draw their card, but they only have 5, so playing a land gets them to 6. We're not in a terrible haunt position, and I have flying blockers now. So, things are a lot better. I can also even copy the Imperiosaur still. I like our position a lot. They still have the Strategist I'd love to be able to kill. We don't have red yet. Maybe that's the reason why I wanted the Pothole Mole. We'll draw into it, hopefully.
It's fine. You don't have anything that needs red in your hand.
It's true.
Until you have one or the other, the color's fake.
This is such a flood on Aether Hive that removes the text.
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
I suppose it's better than putting it on the other 3-2, but
Yeah.
it always feels like it'd be better to have put it on
Muyang
Ling.
It removes the text.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so, okay, I can't block here in any effective way because I only have the point of flying. Yeah, let's go ahead and play out Omnivore. And then I'm going to crew this with Omnivore. And then we're going to attack.
And then see what they do. Yeah.
Because this still attacks for 2, which is enough to be attacking here.
They don't have the 7 to pump.
Okay,
Blood Imperiosaurs would give each other +1/+1, yes.
yeah.
Standard Lord effect.
I'm going to take the card instead of the point there. I know that that's, well, okay. So I have a really funny response to them coming in. Where
Is it cloning a 3/5 flyer?
Indeed.
And then
they didn't deal with Muyang Ling. So when they go in here, we're gonna clone and then we're gonna go to blockers.
Goodbye, strategist.
And we're gonna get strategist off the board. So we're at 6. Like, if they have a Haunt the Network, we go to 3. But they're also at 10. I think they have to play Haunt if they have it.
Thinking that they're just splashing black for Haunt the Network.
That is what I think. That is my belief.
That would make the most amount. That would make the most sense given for how artifact heavy white blue normally is.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
It
is kind of funny that they just
God.
printed like Tezzeret activation as a card.
Mm-hmm. So go to 3. Yeah. All right,
nice.
we are riding here.
Mike's another flyer.
Mike's a flyer that gains life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take World Tyrant.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of mana as turns go on, so.
Yeah. Taking the little one would let us get some activations, but I actually do need to play a little bit defensively.
You get to swing in with Mole and Imperiosaur.
I'm gonna
and at currently Muyang Ling as well. Actually, you get to.
We need to leave blockers to crew.
You do need to leave blockers down to crew. Yeah, forgot.
Yeah, we can't get too. You know.
Can't get too gung ho.
The thing they have that's actually quite dangerous is a kill spell for Muyang Ling kills us.
Yeah. Anything that gets rid of your flying. Which, again, they really shouldn't have played that on your 3/5 vehicle. They should have put it on Muyang Ling.
Oh!
Hey. That wins 6.
I feel incredibly good about being able to, like, navigate Field of Flyers, but also specifically call out the splash. Like,
Yep.
being able to pin them down I have your name.
I guarantee they've got more than one.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's a big reason why they're splashing. Yeah.
Because the second copy we die on the spot.
Okay, that's 6 wins.
6
Just need
wins.
one more.
Haunt is really nuts. Like, if I'm going down the list of like what would you splash for, Haunt is like card 3. Well, I'm like, if I'm looking at uncommon, it might be like 1 or 2. You know, like it's wildly.
The thing
strong.
about it is, and it fits in so easily into the other, like those 2 colors. Otherwise, you know, the 2 color pairs that it shares.
Yeah. It combined with the pack doll is silly. Okay, this one's a little worse than all the hands we've had. I think we're continuing to get a little worse, but 2 lands on the draw, pothole mole. I don't have a problem with this one.
And I mean, first blue also gets you stock up, which also pays for itself.
I want to say half our games are this card. Like, just the power of like, I need an answer. All right, are you ready, everybody? It's time for my favorite pastime, playing games of Limited.
Do we draw the land on turns 2 and 3?
Ooh, Engine Rat. That's right, it's time to lie to our opponent. Yes, this turns off my Seeker on 2. No, I wasn't playing it anyway. The Omnivore was the play. All right. Ooh. We did draw it, and we have the mole.
That's fair.
I'm gonna simplify.
Get this Death Toucher off the board, please.
Yeah, then we're gonna have mole look at each other. They are gonna have bigger use for the mole because, like, this color combination, as we know, like loves the graveyard a lot more. Continue to lie.
By Moonyan Ling, but that's okay. I think you want Forest 3, actually.
Yeah, because we're holding.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just a gut check. Makes sense.
Hey! Check this out.
Ticket Tortoise finally making its appearance to do anything.
This is a real thing. Unlike we did it once before where it was like, this is like fine. This is like legitimately good. I'm gonna go ahead and play out the diversion unit instead of the Eye Seeker Serpent. And now
Serpent can be played on 6 and activated immediately, right?
Correct.
Whereas, like, this is more efficient use of mana.
This also leaves up the. All right, I will.
I'd imagine they're totally fine with that being in the grave, because they're playing Otchik, and Otchik wants creatures in the grave. So.
Yeah. All right, well. Combat. They're going to kill this diversion unit because they have to kill the diversion unit.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, do you want to avoid getting the life? I actually agree with that. You have a 5-mana play anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll do
this is basically as if it landed the attack.
And I'm fine with the treasure being gone because we're going to be playing Serpent plus activation next turn. Also, this is question.
Yeah, you're staring down a 9/7 now when you don't.
They spent a removal spell that didn't kill it. Funnily enough, they had the 6, but not the 7. Hey, how you doing?
Like I said, called it.
Yeah.
Otchik can't currently kill that. Nah. I know it just, is trumps, but...
Yeah.
As it stands, though, right now, Otchik doesn't actually do much aside from drain you when those bugs die. So, Barrage is good to see.
Let's just get it out of here.
Nice draw.
All right, and then offer the trade.
You're not gonna take the trade.
Yeah,
They're just gonna
I know.
find
That's
something.
why. Because
Yeah.
it's not a... Now, the thing that scares me is how many times are they going to take that action?
The concern is that they're definitely taking more than once. Yeah, it's
Okay.
okay. Now they can trade with.
Alright. We have the Imperosaur to, like, change the math. But
It doesn't change the math
Enough.
significantly because they will just block with everything. to do
Correct.
it.
Okay, 2 cards left. Okay, that's a strong one to have. That gives them more gas. Okay. What sort of gas are we getting off this? It grabs a permanent. The permanent is 5/4 no text. Okay.
Yeah. They've only hit you once this entire game anyway.
Let's hit some lands. Okay. I actually think this is Imperosaur
Hazard,
Hazard and get in with everything.
World Tyrant, yeah. Because yeah, I guess they could decide to put this. I don't think it's everything. It's everything except for the Seeker, isn't it?
Seeker is Death Touch. If they want to block with the 6/6 on
fair.
it,
That's fair.
I will absolutely take that trade in specific. And if they don't want to, if they don't want to block Tyrion and they want to like use the Ketrodon to block the mole, I'm also fine with that. The idea here is that I'm trying to get their board as clean as I can, as quick as I can.
Yeah, because the thing is that the moment Achik 2 swings down, that's a problem.
Yeah, and like Beast Rider Vanguard means that like lands give like they can keep making plays. One unknown, they have the Vanguard activation. They might go looking because they don't like the plays in hand. Maybe they're looking for a better
Broodheart
pickup.
engine.
Yeah, Broodheart. Web Strike Elite, that's a pretty good one. Alright, I have 9 mana. I can go ahead and play this bike and still have Hazard activation.
Sure.
You might think the mole can't swing. It can absolutely swing.
Yeah, the way that the math works out here
Also,
is that
The way that the math works out here is,
they're dead. On board.
yeah.
Yeah, they should have blocked them both.
I don't know that they had a way out. But yeah.
fair.
All right.
There
And
it is. This was a 7-0. I'm surprised.
This was a 7-0 and like a solid 7-0. We had a couple.
There was only like 2, maybe 3 games that were kind of close.
Yeah, we had to fight for the 7-0. But who thought this deck performed? I'm really happy with the way that this ended up. I was worried that our curve was a little low, a little low on 2s, not low curve. The broadside barrages were very clearly worth it. This was a necessary and incredibly powerful card that we played as a sorcery, by the way. I think every time we played it, because we usually played it by grabbing it off of stock up and then immediately needing to kill something. But
Yeah.
it did it. It did immediately kill.
You thankfully had exactly enough removal in your deck for most of those games to work out in your favor. The one game in which you didn't, at the very least, your opponent also didn't have enough, so it worked out in your favor.
Well, what a send-off.
Yeah, that's a great way to send off Aetherdrift.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and open some last packs. Right, we're supposed to have a
Foundations.
yeah, we're supposed to have a thingy here, right? Oh. No? Okay.
Hey, this guy.
I love this card. I don't think I've seen
Very
like,
fun.
I don't think I've seen decks built around this, but I like this card makes me like really excited to play with it. You know, like just like. I guess today is no longer the April Fool. All right, what did we end up out of here? I'll take every one of them. Thank you, Velvet. Hey, I never drafted a copy of the Crocodile.
I mean,
This is.
it makes sense why it's the one you wouldn't do.
This card is like fine. I've been impressed with this card in decks that contain Fang Druid Summoner.
Yeah.
And the Rise from the grave, the like pick up a creature, a vehicle, a creature with no text, and yeah, like that sort of thing.
Yes. If it can repeatedly die and come back, then yeah, of course it's better.
Rise from the wreck. Thank you. I was like,
this guy paid off.
very impressed. You know, this thing. Even the flash on it had its point where we like used it to counter a kill spell, sort of. This thing's very powerful because it's on, you know, enter an attack, grab a basic, like gets out of hand very quickly and ramps. Bossry's really funny because Bossry's trying to be like a one-card combo.
But does it really slowly.
Yeah, it does it very slowly. The cycling is strong, and the like, you know, like, okay, token making on a 2/1. You've seen this in standard play. That makes sense. This to me is like, it's not quite Topiary Stomper. The like 4/4 that needs like 7 lands in play to attack or defend, and grabs a land, like that sort of thing, or the Ascend one. Yeah, this is gonna attack much sooner too. Rex. I like this one. This is a removal spell that every time I've seen it, I've been like, ooh, damn, that feels good. Like having mill on your kill spell, and usually like the mana value thing on this usually works out where the longer the game goes on, the more stuff you have, so that this is almost always on anyway. So this should be a turtle based on the art. I believe vehicles don't get creature types.
I believe that's correct.
I believe
they
that's
only get creature. They are just vehicles.
Yeah,
really.
which is sad because I think you're dead on, especially with the new turtle in cons. The turtle that likes turtles. Yeah! I've been asked the question a number of times, what's my favorite card out of Aetherdrift? Or, like, what's the card I think of that's the most, like, flavorful out of Aetherdrift? And it's the same answer. It's the Speed Demon. I adore this card. I adore this card's design. I like its power a lot. I love, like, it setting you off on the like, go deeper and draw more. So, anyway, that's been Aetherdrift. That's what we've got for the day. It's been a fun format. One of the things like that I continue to say and continues to have been true about Wizards over the last like 3 years at this point. Like limited formats have been like very solid. Like our even the limited formats that are like, oh, I don't know how much I care for this, like tend to be something that still operates in a very unique axis.
The thing is, like, while they're not nearly that interesting compared to some other ones that they've done, they're not shit like Avacyn Restored.
Yeah,
right? They're rarely actively unpleasant to play.
Yeah, my pin there is I don't really enjoy murders, but I'm also a Bloomburrow enjoyer, which has me in like the weird Venn diagram that doesn't match with a lot of folks, but like There's
Yeah.
just been, like, even when they're weird, they're different. And and like,
Yeah.
and a side effect of going through a million sets as quick as we are now is that we get to experience them in a more reasonable, like a time. So, anyway.
Like, hey, for what it's worth, I guess weirdly, the time between Dragonstorm and the Final Fantasy set's one of the longer ones that we're gonna have for a while.
It's exactly 2 months.
Yeah. That's a little bit.
No. I mean, it's like I think it's to the day exactly the same as the previous one.
Well, maybe maybe it'll just feel longer because we're looking forward to it. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely is something I'm looking forward to what Dragonstorm looks like to play. I want to like.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dragonstorm, I'm also very much looking forward.
There's
to.
a
So
ton.
it's like not.
Yeah, it's hopefully it's not like, oh, this falls in a hole, because like the
Doesn't look like it is. It looks rad.
Yeah, it looks like I want to be throwing Mardu tokens at people. I want to be attacking you with 1 million guys. So, but that'll be next week. So,
Yeah.
all right. Anyway, thank y'all for joining. Thank you, Doc, for jumping in. Glad to have you here.
No worries. I was plenty available today.
Yeah, and you've got an upcoming marathon on the 5th.
April 5th. That's the important one. That's the one in which everything is half off, and it's the one that lets me play my taxes. So it's my most important marathon by far.
Go check out the Sword Zone on Saturday. Anytime on Saturday, you'll find something going on there. So
it's gonna be literally any time once. I'm gonna start at 7 in the morning, go minimum until 5 in the morning the next day. So
yeah. That'll be it for this. Thank you all for joining. If you want to catch more, you can always follow, see when I go live. Subscribe, you get access to the cool skulls, slimes. But if you're just here having a great time too, glad to have you here. Glad you're just here chatting, enjoying things. It's been a good draft. So, yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you all for joining. Have a good night, everybody.